Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't need a lot of time to figure out when I meet a weasel that person is a weasel, because they have a certain kind of putting things in perspective, and you realize, hey, there's a weasel right there. I think the former US President Bill Clinton was a weasel. First, he was a president, so that's even worse, in a democratic system here, this great republic. But hey, this is the level of our electorate. What can we do? And remember, that was then. What we have now is Bill Clinton is a genius. So what did Mr. Clinton do? He makes a claim that I will analyze, and I will tell you why Mr. Clinton, former president, is a weasel, and it's either a liar or he might be I don't want to say a criminal, but he could be accused of something like that. Let me show you this article that I have here. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It is from May 5th, 2023. This is the title. In 2011, I understood that Putin's attack on Ukraine was just a matter of time. Former US President Clinton says. Okay, well that means he knew then, but he tells us now. So that is that kind of thing is, well, I knew the lottery numbers, the winning numbers. I knew them for a long time. The problem is not that. Okay, did you do anything about it? Well, nah, but I knew them. Okay, off. All right, that's the first one. I want you to tell me the next winning numbers if you know them. Well, I don't feel too well. See you. So this kind of people are weasels. Now, okay, let's say he understood. Next question, did you do anything about it? Because let's say you have someone who's going to tell you, well, I knew that your wife will be raped by Gigi. I knew that about, 2 weeks ago. All right, what would be your question? Why in the hell you did not contact the police? Why in the hell you didn't tell me or my wife? Wouldn't that be the logical question that you would ask Mr. Gigi/Bill Clinton? So you see these kind of things like, well, why didn't you tell me? I would have helped you. I don't like things that are already done, so I can't change them. I say, well, I would have helped you. I knew that. Well, really? Hello, Emil. That's what's going to happen. How about Bill Clinton? Guys, this is what's going to happen. Did you do anything about it in 2011? And he's going to tell us, Clinton, that we cannot verify. We cannot. You and I cannot verify what Bill Clinton is stating being true. Because he's going to say it. Who are you going to go and talk to Putin? Excuse me, Vladimir. Is that true? Is that what you said? Okay, and not only that, you're going to get the transcripts of the conversation? No, you will not. So you have to, and that's why this weasel is saying what he's saying. Remember when these articles, this media from the West and from Ukraine, they when it's something that, let's say, the Russians say, well, it was the attack on the Kremlin yesterday was done by the Ukrainians with the help of the United States of America. The mass media immediately acts like professionals and say they claim without any evidence. I covered this yesterday. There were a few articles, they claim without evidence, without providing evidence. But when it's about this Clinton, nobody says, well, you knew that without providing evidence. Well, you just say something that's not evidence, it's something that I cannot verify. I used to have a friend who used to do the same thing to me, and everybody else. He was creating a aura of a fantastic person that he was with things that you could not verify. Well, I did this, he told me this, he told me that, but you could never verify. You could not ask the other person, like we cannot ask Putin, hey, did you really say that? It's not impossible, that's why it's like half-truths. It's things that could have happened, maybe, but you can't verify it. I would like to verify it. I would like to ask the other person if really that, well, you can't. Why? I don't have his phone number, I don't know where he's at. I was put in this kind of circumstance. That's why that person is not my friend anymore, because of that reason. And he was a very good friend of mine. Until I say, you know what, it's too much, man. You either change this bullshit or didn't Bye-bye, see ya, never. So here is the same thing with this guy. He can say certain things you cannot verify. Let me read you the article so you see what Bill Clinton claims. Former US President Clinton has said that he understood the inevitability of Russian President Vladimir Putin's attack on Ukraine as early as 2011. Why do you think he says this, Clinton? Because he's irrelevant, and he says this to be relevant. And he is relevant because right now I'm talking about him, and Ukrainska Pravda talked about him. So if you knew in 2011, we are in 2023, or let's say 2021, what did you do to prevent it? If you wanted to prevent it. Alright, you didn't know it. If you knew, you would have said it then, but you didn't, so shut the hell up. Details. As a former White House, and if you knew, it was not hard maybe to understand based on the situation. No, just looking on the map, look what NATO is doing in 2008 in Bucharest, NATO summit. We're going to get Ukraine. I mean, all these things can give you a hint that could be the reaction. Like someone tells you, well, your wife looks good, man, and starts envisioning, loudly what he would do to her and how and all that. What would you do? And say, well, I knew he might do that. Did you do anything about it? Or just let it be, let it be, let it be? And it's inevitable. What's going to happen? Most likely, let's put it this way, it's inevitable. Most likely. So if I can make you go ballistic if I have the power to infringe certain, of your freedoms, like freedom of movement, of speech, of buying, let's say, food, you're going to react. See Japan, 1941. Remember that one? 1941? 7th of December, wasn't it? The attack on Pearl Harbor, not on U.S. territory. That must be told. But anyway, still attacked the U.S. Navy, ships, whatever. The same thing. Do you know that Japan was told by the United States, hey, you can't really do this in Asia. You can't go over there and buy that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Say, okay then. Boom. You say, well, no, they just attacked us unprovoked. Well, I can provoke you without not provoking you, if you know what I mean. And I say, well, that's not a provocation. I did it for our security, safety. But the other side cannot use the same argument, only I. Why? Because I'm the good person and you're the bad person. So Clinton, if he knew, it was not a genius move, and did you help going towards that direction, or you intervened? Or you were on the side of whom? Your interest, our interest, global, humanity? Yeah, I would have given you. No, why didn't you? Why don't you give me right now? As a former White House leader said, a chilling meeting with Putin in Davos, Switzerland, he realized that a Russian attack on Ukraine was only a matter of time. Okay, or whatever. Clinton recalls that during this meeting, Putin rejected the Budapest Memorandum agreed by his predecessor, Boris Yeltsin, with U.S. mediation, which stipulated respect for Ukraine's territory in exchange for Kiev's renunciation of its nuclear arsenal. And I'm quoting, Vladimir Putin told me in 2011, 3 years before he took Crimea. No, he didn't take it. They voted. It was a referendum. You know what it is, Clinton? Something that probably you would run away from. And these guys are definitely running away from the will of the people. That he did not agree with the agreement I made with Boris Yeltsin. He said, and I'm quoting, I don't agree with it. Okay, can I ask Putin is that exactly what he said? I believe he probably would say that, but you know what I mean? I don't believe Clinton, so that's the big problem here. And I do not support it, and I'm not bound by it. And I knew from that day forward, Russia full-scale invasion of Ukraine, was just a matter of time, he said. Well, very good, great, you didn't do anything about it, so that's the problem. That's the problem. Or you did, and that's the result of what you did. However you want to call it, my friends. Remember Nostradamus? Yeah, Nostradamus, that guy who was a visionary like Clinton right now. Before things happen, if you read his quatrains, these guys nowadays, they're just, he was foreseeing the future. Only when you look in hindsight, in the back, you say, okay, if you analyze only after it happened, never before. Did you notice this? When you read Nostradamus, he he predicted this so many hundreds of years back, man. Because look, he said that then, and it happened here. I can say today, I don't know, tomorrow a star will fall from the sky, and will be some explosions and fire. And after, I don't know, 50 years, some aliens come over. Hey, Emil predicted it. Or maybe, I don't know, something shows up here. Oh, Emil predicted it. Really? I just made it up. I mean, why don't you tell me right now what I'm going to say then? Like Clinton, why don't you tell me in the future? You tell me in the past, I knew that. No, you did not know. Because I can say the same thing to you right now. Would you believe me? It says that I knew that the Kremlin is going to be attacked on that day, that evening, that night, that morning. Well, I know. I figured it out. I mean, I said that the Kremlin will be attacked, but it was not like a genius. Ooh. And besides, can I do anything about it? No, just talk. Clinton could have done something. Anyway, my friends, you would say how? Well, he was still involved in connections, and since he talked to Putin in 2011, as he says, that means he was involved. All right, I couldn't talk to Putin, yes, in 2011, but he could. So yeah. Besides the fact that Clinton, I don't believe anything what that guy said. I don't believe what people in general say unless we build trust. How do you build trust? With consistency. Consistently telling the truth. That's how you build trust. So I don't think Clinton is part of my circle of friends, of the, how do you call it, truth tellers and all that. But anyway, he doesn't care anyway. So he had a great life. And he survived without being behind. Let me out of here. Hey, what are you doing there? Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Weasel.